Fingerstyle Thursday. Hello, welcome to Fingerstyle Thursday number 59. So for this week we're talking about three things. The first of all is a C minor scale. This piece is all in C minor 6 tuning, so basically your E, your second string needs to go down to an E flat. So we're playing high G, C, E flat and A. Sounds like I'm saying hello to G. Hi G! G, C, E flat and A, and that is our tuning for today. So because we're in a C minor tuning, C minor scale goes very nicely with this. That's the main thing we're talking about. The other thing we're then going to talk about is how to build chords on top of this so that it'll sound delicious, and that's where all of these chords came from in the piece. The other thing we'll be talking about is repeating stuff, what repeats look like on a sheet and how you know how to use them. Okay, so let's talk about our C minor scale first of all. Okay, so a nice place to learn your C minor scale is on the C string. So we're just going to play it basically all going up one string to start with. Okay, so we play a C, then we're going to go to the second fret for a D, then we're going to go third fret for an E flat, then we're going to go fifth fret for an F, seventh fret for a G, 8th fret for an A flat, 10th fret for a B flat, and then you can either finish on 12 or you're back to 0. So that is our C minor scale. C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. So what we need to also do is learn how to position this on our first string. So let's go find a C, which should start at the 3rd fret. So we start off with the 3rd fret on our A string, that's a C, then we go up to the 5th fret, which would be our D, 6th fret, which is E flat, the 8th fret, which is an F, I need to start counting now, 10th fret, which is a G, 11th fret, which is an A flat. Now rather than go to 13, I'm actually going to minus 12, so go an octave lower and go to fret 1, which is a B flat, and then I roll in nicely back to my C where I started at fret 1. You can obviously play fret 13, that's the B flat, an octave higher, and then you could go up to the 15th fret and finish your C there. But let's be honest, most of us aren't usually playing past the 12th fret on the ukulele, so usually I find as soon as you get anywhere near the 12th fret, I will minus 12 frets off it, and then you get an octave lower. So 13th fret is the same as the 1st fret. Right, now here comes the fun part, and it's talking about creating your own chords, okay? So let's start off on our C string, and let's start off with the most obvious, which is C. Now basically, if we just pluck our 3rd string and our 1st string, and maybe we alternate between the two, so basically thumb, use your middle finger or your index finger to pluck the 1st string, we're just going to run up our scale from C. So there's my C, to my D, to my E flat, to my F, to my G, A flat, B flat, and then I'm back to my C again. Now you can play any of those notes in any of the order and alternate between the C. And it'll sound delicious because it's scale with scale. Now imagine that you either strum this or you fingerpick it. The reason why it works so well is because of the tuning that we've put it in, because a C minor chord is a C, E flat and G. So then I have those. So basically those two notes are always in the scale, so we can use them all the time. So imagine the concept that we just talked about. So instead of just using the open C, imagine you go to the next note of your scale on the C string, which was our D on fret 2. And from there, it's basically trying to add whichever parts of the scale that you can reach on the first string. So for example, I can reach fret 1 quite nicely. I can reach fret 3 quite nicely. I can reach fret 5. I could even reach fret 6. So straight away, I have some nice things to play around with that chord there. Now you can do this concept constantly going up, so that would be any variant of a D chord basically. Then on my E flat there, I can do the same. Which frets can I reach? I can reach fret 1, I can reach fret 3, reach fret 5, reach fret 6, could be even crazier, reach fret 8. And you can keep on going up. So then I'll be at fret 5. What can I reach? Fret 3, fret 5, 6, 8, 10, that's nice, 11, a little bit of a squeeze. But you can carry on doing this on each degree of your scale here, and then using the scale on the first string to basically add another note to harmonize it. So there you have like ridiculous amounts of chords that you can actually create. And that is all I've done here, okay? That is all I'm doing, is picked one note and then harmonized it with another note, and we're creating chords. Okay, so now we've covered the theory, let's actually talk about the practical side of the piece. The piece is in 6/8, and basically the finger picking pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and. That is it, 1 and 2 and 3 and then that is repeated for 4 and 5 and 6 and. So it's a pattern of 6. Now it's my favorite kind of arpeggio to play in a group of 6. String-wise, so if we just play what feels like a C major but is a C minor in here, then we're going to go 3, 2, 4, 1, which is your basic ukulele arpeggio. And then all we're going to do is play 4, 2 to basically come back. 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1 and 2 and 3 and. So first of all, we want to get used to just playing the pattern on loop. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and forever. So this would actually be a really good opportunity to then take this sort of scale nonsense that I'm talking about. So with your open C, just start walking up and down your scale. Etc, 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 right? But there you can start crafting and writing your own melodies, and it's just a lovely thing to be able to create music. So have a play around with that. Right, once we're very happy with that fingerstyle pattern, that is what's going on throughout the whole piece. So the first shape that we need is our ring finger on the C chord here, and then we're going to put our middle finger on the 3rd fret on the C string. And basically we're going to move between this, index on the 2nd, and then open. So once we're here with our 3rd fret and 3rd fret, the ring finger's really not going to leave that string for the moment, okay? So we do our little pattern, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and. My index finger then takes over on the 2nd fret of the C string, 4 and 5 and 6 and. That took a lot of thinking, 4 and 5 and 6 and. So the same pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and then I'm going to get rid of my index finger for the nice open C minor, that is, 1 and 2 and 3 and then what we're going to do is we're going to put our middle finger back down and we're going to slide up to the 5th fret. So it's the same shape that we had to start with, but now we're at the 5th fret, but we want to slide just into that shape. Play the same right hand pattern there. Okay, so that is like the main riff of the piece. So if we put that ever to slowly together, so 2, open, slide to 5. There you go, and that's our first 2 bars. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Now, for the next two bars, we're going to do the same thing, but we're basically not going to do the slide to 5. We'll play double amount of C minor. So we start here with 3 and 3, which is C minor / E flat. Index finger takes over in 2. Let go. And then we're going to play another pattern on that nice C minor chord there. So if we put all those 4 bars together, that is basically the first line of our piece. Now, if we're looking at the tab, this is basically what I'm talking about with repeats. So in standard music notation, a repeat looks like it's a thick black line at the start, basically of your bar that it wants you to start repeating from, and it has 2 dots. Thick black line, 2 dots. And then basically you repeat everything that's sort of in there. I feel like it's a portal. That's how I think of it. And it goes there, and then basically when it wants you to repeat up until, it has a thick black line and 2 dots on the other side. So sort of everything within those 2 black lines, once you've played them all, you have to go back to where the doorway starts, the portal, and then play them all again. And then you carry on with your business. So basically on the sheet, you'll have thick black line, which is the first line. You play everything up until that line, but rather than carrying on to the second line, you go back and start all again, play it all, and then you can move on. So basically, we play that first line twice, that's all. But repeats are really standard in written music, and I mean, when I was growing up as a bass player learning, my practical skills were better than my reading skills, so I ended up accidentally ignoring lots of repeats and then having lots of people angrily look at me being like, mate, what the fuck are you doing? So I learned the hard way, so I don't want you to learn the hard way. Now, our next line is basically, I call this chord a B flat sus4. Its index finger is on the 8th fret, and then I'm actually going to use my middle finger on the 10th fret on the C string. So you've got 0, 10, 0, 8. You can use your ring finger for that if you want, but I think it's better for basically sustained to try and keep that there. Now, we're basically going to play 2 patterns. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Then we're going to move our index finger down to the 5th fret, and that's a C minor add 9. So we're going to arpeggiate that twice as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Then we're just going to move up 1 fret, so on the 6th fret on the A string. Drop my middle finger again, so we have that 2 fret gap, same as the B flat. This is an A flat major 7, well, why I've named it. And we're going to play 2 patterns. That's a lie, actually. We're going to play 4 patterns. We're going to play 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. So that started here, 10 and 8, which we play twice. We then down to this 5th fret, C minor add 9. Move up a fret, drop that middle finger or ring finger, whichever you prefer. Play that for 2 bars. Now, that line on the sheet also has a repeat, so you have to do all that again. Now, for the final bit, we go back to our original riff. We go to there, but on the sheet, we have a repeat starting on that first bar, and then we have a repeat finishing on the second bar. So basically, the repeat finishes at the end just after you've done those 5s, and above the repeat it says ×3, because basically if a repeat doesn't say anything, times, you just play it once, then you repeat it, and then you move on. If it says ×3, that basically means you have to play it 3 times. You play it the original time, then you repeat it, and then you repeat it again. So you play it in total 3 times. So that's what we have to do. We have to go play this little riff once, twice, and then a 3rd time. And then for our final 2 bars, we're just back to where we started with the C minor / E flat. And then we go to the D. And I just basically finish by just playing an open C string. And you'll notice I also slow down a little bit there. That's just basically to tell everybody, yes, I am finishing now, so now you save all your checks, money, sweets, crisps, applause. Okay, that's when you do it. Okay, cool. I hope this has been enjoyable, helpful, whatever the correct objectives are. If you like this video, then please consider liking the video and subscribing. I do this every single Thursday. Patreon is basically where all the PDF sheets are every single week. PDFs are there, and I also teach 2 lovely fun lessons a month. Oh, and every single cover tab is there. Have a good day. Goodbye.